Hello and welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Omotayo Alo. The Minister for Health, Isaac Adewale, says a total case of about 86 people have so far been reportedly affected with the Lassa fever virus, while 40 people have died. Speaking with journalists in Abuja, he said Nigerians should not panic about the current outbreak as the federal government is doing everything possible to contain the disease. He listed Edo, Rivers, Gombe, Bauchi, Oyo, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, Taraba and Kano as states with identified cases so far. According to him, government has released adequate quantities of rerun antiviral drugs used for the treatment of the disease. It has also deployed response teams to the affected state as some rapid response measures to the outbreak. The federal government says Nigerians should not panic over the current outbreak of Lassa fever in the country. Minister for Health, Isaac Adewale, gave an assurance to this effect at a press parley where he said government is doing everything possible to contain the disease. The minister told journalists that government was working round the clock to bring the outbreak to an end, listing states with identified case and the casualty rate so far. Immediate response, according to him, include releasing adequate quantities of rerun antiviral drugs used for the treatment of the disease to all affected states, while urging Nigerians to avoid contact with rodents and fields contaminated by rat, except the rate of infection is reduced over the years. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will be conducting about 78 rerun elections across the country this year. The rerun elections are as a result of various verdicts delivered by the Court of Appeal and petitions brought before it. A statement from the Commission shows the breakdown as follows: 10 senatorial seats, 12 state constituency and 37 state assembly elections, while 17 federal constituency elections and 2 governorship rerun elections will be subject to the verdict of the Supreme Court. The elections are expected to hold within 60 or 90 days, as ordered by the Appellate Court. President Muhammad Buhari says his administration will place premium on science and technology to drive the programs of revamping the nation's economy. President Buhari made this known during the inauguration of National Research and Innovation Council at the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Abiola Oluwole has more on the story.
In his inaugural speech as the chairman of the National Research and Innovation Council, President Muhammadu Buhari promised his administration will invest adequately into science and technology. According to the president, the role of research cannot be underplayed if Nigeria is ready to realize our full potentials.
I wish to assure this council of my determination and commitment to ensure that as a nation we will invest appropriately in science, technology and innovation in order to guarantee our competitiveness both continentally and globally. Create jobs and fight crime can best be achieved if we embrace science and technology.
It tasked members of the council not to assist in putting the nation away from the path of development.
I therefore wish to charge you all to use your best endeavor and wealth of experience to ensure that this big responsibility placed on you is discharged in the most effective and efficient way, so that the tools of science, technology and innovation are adequately deployed towards the development of our country.
The Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonaya Onu, on his part, affirmed the commitment of the Council to ensure innovative development across the country. The Council, which has 15 ministers, 2 representatives of the private sector as members, was inaugurated in February 2014 by former President Goodluck Jonathan. From Presidential Villa in Abuja, Abiola Oluwole, CoreTV News.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogar, says the House is determined to do everything possible to alleviate the sufferance of the internally displaced persons in Nigeria. Speaking on the visit to the Wasa camp for internally displaced persons in Abuja, The Speaker said the visit has strengthened his resolve to push further for the establishment of a Northeast Development Commission. Jamil Afagwa brings us details.
After driving more than 40 kilometers, the Speaker and some members of the National Assembly arrived at Wassa camp, which is home to more than 100,000 displaced persons from various parts of the Northeast.
Some of us who are leaders, with your support, with your vote, we became members, will do everything possible to ensure that we keep issues bothering you on the front burners of national history.
After meeting the people, he presented them items including rice, maize, cooking oil, and some clothing materials. On behalf of the camp dwellers, the chairman expressed appreciation and pleaded for some basic amenities which they did not have.
He talked about education. He said that the school they have here, they have only 2 teachers. And he's pleading that government should respond immediately to ensure that some of the kids who are here receive education in the course of their stay here as internally displaced persons.
Recently, the Speaker had presented a bill for the establishment of a Northeast Development Commission. Now, he is more resolved to pursuing that to a logical conclusion.
To be very frank with you, even if I don't come here, I know the situation already. I come from the zone, and my own life too is a testimony to the kind of devastation that we have witnessed in that place. And like one of the honorable members said, perhaps all of us in the Northeast are victims. I lost my own cousin, first cousin. He was DPO in one of the local governments in Yobe State, who was killed in active duty. So I'm already familiar with the level of devastation in the zone. And that has more than ever strengthened my resolve to ensure that we provide succor to the IDPs, but far better than that, to ensure that we rebuild that zone.
For some members who came with him, everything should be done by all Nigerians to help the IDPs.
You have to see them to really appreciate God, where you are coming from. And it's not just making noise in the pages of newspaper, on television. This is reality, real on ground. Look at the people. And I think we need to do a lot.
The Northeast Development Commission is on board. The destroyed infrastructure will be reconstructed and rehabilitated with a view to resettling them back into their communities.
Camps like this one are scattered all over the nation. Help has come from many, but the gesture from the members of the House of Representatives is indeed a worthy one of emulation. Jamil Afagwa, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has called on broadcast organizations to embark on more awareness campaign as it contributes in the fight against terrorism in Northeast. The minister made the call while playing host to members of Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, in Abuja. Emmanuel Onu filed this report.
The meeting is the first since the minister took charge of affairs in the ministry. It was one that provided a platform for practitioners and owners of broadcast media outfits to rub minds with him and ensure a successful outcome of ongoing efforts to halt activities of the Boko Haram. The minister in his address commended some members of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria for their effort so far, but appealed to all members to be more active in their campaign against insurgency.
Terrorists who have been routed from their strongholds have now resorted to attacking sub-targets, that is, highly vulnerable places like markets, motor parks, mosques, churches, entertainment centers and schools, killing innocent people. That is why we believe that as a government, we must now sensitize our people so that they can be more security conscious and we help to end the spread of suicide bombings that are the best messages, that are the last messages of a fading insurgency. In this regard, we need all Nigerians to join hands together with us. We need all hands on deck, and we need a very important organization like yours, the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, to assist us in creating awareness among our people.
Chairman of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, who is also the Director General of the NTA, Shola Omole, speaking on behalf of other members, pledged their unrelenting support to end insurgency through their programming content. He also described the broadcast organization as a capital-intensive one. The NTA DG appealed to government for financial support.
The continued survival of our nation is the business of all of us. It is only when our nation survives that we can profit in our different enterprises. Once we determine exactly what material we're going to be sending out, we can depend wholeheartedly on the resources of Mr. Shekolale to make these things available to everyone. And I'm sure that our members will rise to the occasion because there are other opportunities for us to exploit for commercial purposes. But in terms of this particular campaign and the one to come, which the Honorable Minister talked about, I pledge the support of all as an organization to provide support.
The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria is an umbrella body for broadcast organizations in Nigeria with over 100 members saddled with the responsibility of providing content aimed at promoting peace and stability in the country.
A federal high court in Abuja has granted bail to former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Ali Rubelu, and his son, Abba Mohammed, in the sum of 300 million naira with 2 sureties each. Delivering ruling on the bail application, Justice Ahmed Mohammed agreed with the defense counsel that the charges against the accused are bailable offences. Among the bail conditions is that the 2 sureties must be directors in the federal service and should have landed property in Abuja worth the amount of the bail. Our judicial correspondent, Basilo Kafo, files in this report presented from our studio.
The ex-PDP chair, Ali Rubelu, appeared in court again on a wheelchair, accompanied by his son, Abba Mohammed, who is also standing trial along with his father for alleged money laundering. They were not disappointed as their appeal for bail was granted by Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the Federal High Court, Abuja. Justice Mohammed also ordered Bello and his son to deposit their international passports to the court and appeared on February 16 for continuation of the trial.
Apart from the fact that the conditions are a little onerous, stringent, well, we'll see whether they are attainable, whether they are fulfillable. I don't want to jump the guns here. Let's see how the defendants, their efforts at trying to meet the conditions. If they are unable to fulfill the conditions, of course, we may have no choice than to go back to court to ask for variation.
The court further ordered Abba Mohammed to be remanded in Kuje prison, while his father would still be under the supervision of the IGP, Solomon Arase, at Abuja Clinic, pending when they meet their bail conditions. Bello and his son are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for allegedly collecting 300 million naira from the office of the then National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki.
The introduction of the concept of plea bargain into the Nigerian judicial system seeks to address the lacuna facing criminal judicial proceedings in Nigeria. Its adoption seeks to tackle overcrowded jails and prison, cost of trials, clogged courtrooms, and persecuting calendars. However, not all legal practitioners believe in the plea bargain concept of the Nigerian judicial system. Akin Obake brings the report.
The judicial system is characteristically known for its lengthy trial period, mostly in criminal cases. The adoption of plea bargaining seeks to address many of the challenges faced by the judiciary. The role of the Attorney General in implementing plea bargain in criminal proceedings cannot be overlooked, as public interest of justice, and the need to prevent abuse of legal process is paramount in considering plea bargain. These legal practitioners believe in the adoption of the plea bargain concept.
Plea bargaining, I think it's a good development. Otherwise, these people will go away with the money. They will go away with the loot. But with plea bargaining, the system will be able to recover some of this ill-gotten wealth. I think that's fair enough, yeah.
A philosophy of plea bargain is not for the suspects or accused persons or guilty ones to be set free. It is to help decongest courts or institutions or centers of detention of people accused or suspected of committing one crime or the other. Neither is it is a convenient tool to facilitate smooth administration of justice.
It's no longer right to say it is illegal, because what is illegal is what is not provided for by our law. So if the Administration of Criminal Justice Act was promulgated and passed sometimes May 2015 has provided for it, then the people at the ends of affair, the judges can administer it. And administering it means they are operating within the confines of the law.
For their parts, these legal practitioners fault the practice of plea bargaining due to its marginalization in application.
Once there is a nexus linking them to the crime, let them be arrested and prosecuted. They don't need to run away. If you know you have not committed any crime, go to court, face your charges. The judge knows what to do. If you are able to find your way through, to God be the glory. But if there's a nexus, you are convicted, face the consequence. The prison is not made for animals. It's made for human beings. So then, what is the basis of saying somebody commit a crime, then you come back and say, I want to refund 100,000 out of 200 million naira?
For some of us, or for most of us, who believe that a country like Nigeria needs the most severe punitive measures to deter people from committing humongous crimes, we are not ripe for that yet. And before we can say that we're ripe for plea bargaining, we need to specifically incorporate it into our laws.
Despite the obvious merits of plea bargaining, it is not devoid of its shortcomings, as fundamental defects of the process on the victim is high. The victim may not feel that justice has been served in his case, where the court accepts the plea bargain of the culprit. It is, however, the expectations of Nigerians that the judiciary, being the last hope of the common man, shows equity, fairness, and justice in cases that are sensitive to the public and lay exemplary judicial precedents. Akin Obake, reporting for CoreTV News, Lagos.
And Joel to join us after this break for more stories.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treating looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Welcome, and if you're just joining us, it's CoreTV News at 4. For more news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, or Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, letter space and news. The threat to sack the strike conductors in Osun State may be carried out starting from Monday. Governor Rauf Aregbesola gave the hint of watermark before the doctors in Osogbo on Thursday while speaking at the 75th birthday anniversary of the founding president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Hassan Somonu. The governor said he was surprised that despite his efforts to persuade the doctors, who have been on strike since September 28, 2015, they still stuck to their guns. Meanwhile, the Democratic Socialist Movement has condemned the threat to sack the doctors. They expressed their support for the doctors while urging them not to budge despite the pressure, saying the health sector would be totally destroyed if they allowed themselves to be cowed by the governor's threat. The popular Owenifari market has become a shadow of itself following its demolition by the Lagos state government. This action by the state government has however generated angered feelings from Lagosians. Our correspondent Sarah Iku gives us update on the story.
A day after the destruction of the market, Lamentations and despair trailed the Lagos State government decision to opt on the source of livelihood of the Owerri market traders. As they scavenge over what remains under the market rubble, they are sad and aggrieved that the 36-year-old market has been destroyed by the government.
6 days or 7 days into the new year, one would have thought that this year was going to bring forth good tidings for these traders. But as at today, this market has been burnt down, and goods worth millions of naira that would have been redeemable by the traders caught away by fire. These traders are of the opinion that the state government are not doing good things for them. They are of the opinion that this particular destruction has a political undertone.
Aggrieved, many of them desire to vent their anger, but are still confused as they realize that all they depended on have been taken away.
And selling it on Sunday, we are hoping they will open here for us. They're not open here on Sunday, they're not open here on Monday, they're not open here on Tuesday. It was on Tuesday midnight. They're not broke everywhere. We are even begging them that midnight. My auntie was begging Ambode here, lying on the floor, begging Ambode, crying with tears and everything, that Ambode should just allow her to pick some of her goods that she forgot inside. And Ambode was just like, he was just so hardened, not even hearing what my auntie was just saying, and my auntie was doing nothing. She was just so frustrated. Then what did Ambode now want us to do? Should we go and thieve or steal?
Apart from these traders, and amid non-traders scavenging, passers-by also condemned the state action towards these traders, describing it as high-handed.
They gave these people quick notice to quit. They are supposed to quit 22nd of January. Without knowing, on the 6th of January, I don't know who came here. They came to demolish this place, and people goods are here. This is pure wickedness. We are all Nigerians. And robbery, this is robbery as far as I'm concerned. Even when they were demolishing this place, the people in charge were not informed to carry their goods. It is not good. It is not good. What they have done is bad. Whosoever that have done this, it is bad.
With these strategic measures from the state government, Lagosians are still unsure of what plans the government has for these traders. The traders, however, call on the government to provide business alternatives in order to mitigate the economic sufferings that they face. Sarah Ayoku, reporting for CoreTV News.
Meanwhile, Lagos State government has defended the relocation of traders plying their trade in Owerri market within the notorious loop of Oshodi to the newly built ultra-modern Isokpa-Kodowo market in Bolade Oshodi, saying the action was taken in the overall interest of public good, safety and security. Speaking during a joint press briefing addressed by the state's Ministries of Information and Strategy, the Environment, Physical Planning and Urban Development, Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, and the Office of the Civic Engagement, the government said it constructed an alternative market stall for the traders which can conveniently accommodate over 600 shops and agreed to subsidize payment by giving shops at the new market at a monthly giveaway price of 5,000 naira. The Plateau State House of Assembly has approved the extension of the tenure of the Management Committee Chairman of the 17 local governments in the state by 2 months. The approval followed by a letter from Governor Simon Lalong requesting for the extension of the chairman's tenure by 6 months. The details.
Rejecting the governor's 6-month tenure extension request, Daniel Dam, member representing Riyam constituency, said the constitution of the caretaker committees is illegal. He further disclosed that the elected chairmen who were removed by the governor still had a case in court challenging their removal from office.
We have a position, we have a resolution that the people will give to the governor, and I think with all respect, Mr. Speaker, we will see the motion with effect that the power of the local government council, in line with the request of the government, should only be reviewed after every 2 months. I beg to know, Mr. Speaker.
The Deputy Speaker, Yusuf Gagdi, member representing Kantana constituency, said most local government committees were performing below expectations, and as such, the tenure elongation is not a priority.
Mr. Speaker, I think we should continue to work out based on what we agreed on the floor of this House. It is a 2 months approval. I beg, Mr. Common, the motion being moved that the claim of local government, the capital committee.
It is in the light of the above that I write to request the kind consideration of the House of Assembly to grant further extension by the tenure of the local government management committee by 6 months to enable government set in motion modalities for the conduct of the local government elections in the state.
The management committee chairman were appointed in July and the tenure was extended by 2 months in October 2015.
Following the announcement of the new pump price for premium motor spirit by the federal government, the operation controller of the Department of Petroleum Resources in Jos reaffirms commitment that no petrol station will defraud the public. He announced that appropriate sanctions will be meted out on those found wanting, while calling on marketers to ensure that they keep to the new pump price.
Many marketers that are having product as of now have reverted to the new government PMS pump price of 86 naira 50 kobo, while the NNPC also have complied. And up to as we are talking now, my staff are still on field trying to see that no itches or nobody is not complying.
A week after the announcement of the new pump price by the federal government, non-compliance to the price has largely been the complaint of Nigerians. Rashid look at the level of adjustment of the petrol dealers in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, and files in this report.
Days after the new pump price for petrol announced by the federal government took effect, compliance to the new pump price in Osun State is still very low, although all the filling stations have changed their fuel pump display to be a 6 naira 50 kobo new price. The price for a litre of petrol still go as high as 110 naira. Motorists lament over this development.
Well, provided we can get the fuel, the situation, if we can get it 110, before we are getting it at 140, 150. So, but I think it's coming down gradually. Within the next few days, if the foil are available, I think it will go gradually to that 186 or 86 or 87 naira. Yes, the government said they are going to send their weather DPR agent out. I'm yet to see them working. If they are working, I think the situation will be brought to normal, the normal price situation. They are not yet working, I think.
Of all filling stations around Osogbo, only the NNPC megastation in the state capital, though besieged by a long queue of vehicles, seems to be the only one that has complied with the directive. Commuters, however, call on government and its relevant agencies to ensure the enforcement of the new price, as marketers in the states seemed bent on selling far above the price.
There's a filling station at Ayetoro. I've been able to 87 or so. The normal price. But every other filling stations, maybe 120, 130. And I think this one is 110. The another issue is the pump issue. Some adjust the pump rather. It's not actually if you buy like 10 liters, it's obvious you cannot get 10 liters, like 8-point-something liters. So which government should do something, but while waiting for the government to do something, you still have to comply with them because you need our cars to run.
With Nigerians' continuous complaint, observers opine that enforcement of the new pump price should be the focus of the Department of Petroleum Resources. Rashid, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
Towards the end of last year, many subscribers through MTN received text messages directing them to various centers to register their SIM cards. The explanation given by MTN, one of Nigeria's telecommunications service provider, is that the exercise is in accordance with NCC's directive. CoreTV crew was at one of such centers in Wuse, Abuja.
God forbid that I will queue here. If they want me to register, they should come to my office. They have our details. Ask for make it convenient for people.
That is the reaction that greeted CoreTV's arrival at one of the centers designated for the SIM card re-registration process for MTN subscribers. Lining both sides of the streets are vehicles belonging to individuals who have come for the exercise, who can also be sighted on a very long snake-like queue. These customers, who have chosen to comply with the directive, are, however, not too satisfied with the scenario surrounding the exercise.
I've been registered, but other people, the stress and the sufferings they are undergoing now, it's not worthwhile. So I implore that you people should appeal to MTN and other organizations to make sure that they do things as at when due and at the right time.
It's not easy for me. I was here since 6 o'clock. If you see the queue, I came all the way from Abuja here. To the first, I went to the Wise directed to here. So when I came again, people was much, and they said that it started by 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. But we found out that we were here for some hours. Yeah, there even nobody. As I'm talking to you, I'm just even coming out from that place. I was like, it's not the way it's supposed to be. I have done the registration before, earlier and before on now.
MTN, the way they are doing things, we are not fools in Nigeria. They can't come to Nigeria and then telling us if you come and register again, you'll be given some amount of money, like bonus on your phone, on your line. It shouldn't be the best. This is the third time to say I'm registering my SIM, but this one is very, very, very stressful. And looking at the queue, it's nothing to write him about.
But this man has a different view. He insists that the exercise is a smooth one. And inside the center, one finds several registration points where the process takes less than 5 minutes.
Actually, I've come this morning to register. And when I enter the hall,
to register for?
To actually update my SIM card, for MTN, So when I enter the hall, I saw that actually everything is being well organized to my own concern. People queue, and the point of registrations are so many. There are so many laptops. People line up, go inside, sit down. Maximum of 5 minutes will be done. So I'll just advise that people should have patience and then wait for their turn.
The re-registration exercise for MTN subscribers is coming on the heels of a 3.5 billion naira fine imposed on the service provider by NCC over its refusal to disconnect unregistered subscribers. The exercise began on January 2 and will end on January 27. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
We'll take another break and we move to outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, Australian firefighters are battling with a huge blaze that has engulfed the small town of Yalup and threatening southern Perth in Western Australia. 95 buildings have been destroyed so far, and emergencies have been declared in the nearby towns of Avi and Waruna, according to the Western Australia Fire and Emergency Services. More than 200 firefighters and support staff are currently fighting the blaze using about 50 fire trucks and 24 heavy construction vehicles such as bulldozers or evacuators. There have been no mandatory evacuations, but people are being urged to leave or actively defend their properties. 4 people have been injured so far, and there have been no fatalities. The fire was first reported after daylight on Thursday, and it is believed to have been ignited by lightning strike hitting bushland. Belgian prosecutors believe they may have found a Brussels apartment where one of the Paris jihadists hid after the 13th November attacks. In an apartment in the Shabak district, police found traces of explosives and a fingerprint of fugitive Salah Abdeslam. The apartment had been rented in a false name that might have been used by a person already in custody. The Belgian Federal Prosecutor's Office said that traces of the explosive are certain peroxide and 3 handmade belts used to transport explosives were found in the raid on 10th December in Real Burge. Police are still searching for Abdulsalam, aged 26, and a citizen of France, though born in Brussels. They believe he took part in the attacks before contacting friends in Belgium to drive him back over the border to Brussels. He is believed to have rented a VW Polo car in Belgium, which was later found near the Bataclan concert hall in Paris, where 86 people were killed. He also rented a Renault Stelio and reserved 2 hotel rooms outside Paris before the attacks. Authorities say his precise role in the Paris attacks is still unclear, but his brother Ibrahim blew himself up. The father argued that Salah Abdulsalam may have played a logistical role in the Paris shootout. An ISIS fighter is executed his own mother before a public audience. The 20-year-old killed his mother in the Syrian city of Raqqa, which is an ISIS de facto capital, as Andres looked on near the post office where she worked. ISIS had accused her of apostasy after her son turned her in, and she has been trying to escape from the camp, but didn't want to leave her son behind. The victim was in her 40s. And now in the world of sport, Britain's Andy Murray and Aja Watson registered singles win on a sweltering day in Perth to help give Great Britain a 3-0 Hopman Cup whitewash of Germany on a morning when temperatures rose to 36 degrees. Watson beat Neville Leakey 2-3, 6-4 before Murray overcame Alexandra Zevic 6-3, 6-4. The pair then teamed up for a 6-3 4 win in the mixed doubles, but Britain still needs France to beat Australia in the last group game to reach Saturday's final. And it's a wrap on CoreTV News at this hour. Thank you so very much for joining us. My name is Omotayo Alo.